Okay, ClayNation holders, ClayNation fans, fanatics, everyone. I feel like it's been a while since I've hosted a ClayNation episode, but we're going to start off with the first piece of news on ClayNation. Well, it's not on ClayNation, but the tweet that they put out, and it talks about the NFT numbers. So I think it's a kind of incredible stat, and the source is from Dep Radar, but ClayNation has retweeted it, and it goes something like this. So in 2020, NFT sales were $94.9 million. But guess what? In 2021, NFT sales were $24.9 billion. That's just incredible. Looking at this chart, we've seen an explosion. And of course, all this is not on Cardano, mainly Ethereum, but this goes to show that the NFT boom is real, and it goes thankfully for Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and a lot of amazing things are going to happen on all these platforms, in my opinion. Those are the big three: Solana, Cardano, Ethereum. I think you can also talk about like Wearable or all these other marketplaces and whatnot, and blockchains. I think Tezos has it too. There's a bunch, but those are the big three at the very moment. I don't have the exact numbers on, I guess, like the pie chart of how much sales comes from Ethereum compared to Cardano compared to Solana, but essentially the NFT game is roaring, it's soaring, and it's booming. So that's an incredible stat, and it's going to be really cool to see what the wallet trades and the total NFT sales are going to be in 2022. But this goes to show that it's becoming widely adopted, and it is really cool because I think in 2020, 2021, that's when things got very mainstream and everyone and their mothers got NFTs, right? Man. So going along Twitter, ClayNation has been really putting in that work for creating the Clayverse. You see a lot of projects creating, either investing in land. So for example, when you go on Ethereum, you see a bunch of projects investing in the sandbox, getting lots of land there, or getting parcels of land on Decentraland. And it's because they're trying to find a central hub or a piece of land on the metaverse to kind of hone in on their community. Because the way I see it is that you have NFTs, you have communities, very strong ones too, by the way, and you need to bring them somewhere. They're all on Discord and they all have their profile pictures up. But how cool would it be to go to an actual virtual world where you can kind of create games, lounges, events, and just chill there? Now, I do think that you do need a virtual headset, like the Oculus at some point, and that's one thing to kind of talk about as well. I mean, with this metaverse becoming really big and Meta or Facebook changing its name to Meta, at some point in time, everyone's going to have to invest in hardware to participate in the metaverse, right? So it's kind of interesting because I think that development of the metaverse hasn't caught up yet with the hardware because the hardware exists, but I think the full implementation of mass adoption for the metaverse isn't there yet, even though there are a lot of users on Decentraland, but everyone is not wearing a VR AR headset. But that's besides the point. Looking at this tweet, we're seeing a teaser, and they're working on the rendering models of the Clayverse for the ClayNations. If you own one, I think if you own a ClayNation slash a Good Charlotte NFT, you'll be able to participate or join certain rooms in the Clayverse. And in ClayNation, there's a certain body, a robot body, and they're showing some sort of teaser, like 3 buttons. I'm assuming, I don't know, I'm taking a wild guess with these 3 buttons. You're gonna have a choice to go to one of the 3 rooms or time travel to one of the 3 places, and you can only do it once, I don't know, every so often. It's just a wild guess right here, but it's kind of cool how they're kind of creating a 3D rendering of clay for the Clayverse. If we see this other example, it's another Clayverse or ClayNation 3D rendering. It looks very clean if you ask me. There's no eyes right here, but the nose, the cape, the graphics looks really cool. I think they're doing it on Unreal Engine. I might be wrong about that, but it's really coming in together. And one of the cool things is that on the clay paper, they did project this to be finished by like February, March, I think quarter 1 or quarter 2 of 2022. And it seems right now that things are in line. They're going to meet that deadline. Usually with technology, there's always a delay in things. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is one, especially during the beta if they do release that at the beta version. But things are looking promising. The team's working hard, and you have to keep in mind it is a small team of, I think, 2 to 4 people on ClayNation, and only one developer unless they got more. Here is another example. So again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see what I'm seeing right now. If not, I'll post these links on the show notes. You can kind of get a better idea of what the ClayNations will look like on the Clayverse. So this is another one of the Clay Knight armor, and it looks really beast. I think these are pretty popular too, the actual Clay armor for the NFTs themselves. They're pretty rare. So they show the front side and the back side. And I'm just really wondering, like, what we're going to do. Are we going to interact with other people on it? Is it going to be like an online game? Or is it going to be like a combination of like Club Penguin where you have your own igloo, in this case, your own tent, you decorate it, you play games, you earn Cardano or ADA. I just wonder how that ecosystem is going to look like, but that's still, I think we have to wait until 2022 for that to be fully finalized and for more features to come out. We have to wait right now until the Clayverse is fully complete and for people to go on it and adopt the ecosystem and participate in the events. Okay, let's talk about the floor price real quick. I'm on TokenRef. In my opinion, there probably are better sites to find better stats on Cardano NFTs in general, or even just ClayNation. But TokenRef has been the plug for me. Again, there's 10,000 assets. I'm pretty sure still a good portion of them are owned by, not a good portion, but a good some amount are owned by the ClayNation team, maybe for giveaways or to resell to fund any of their projects. But the floor price right now is 1,200 ADA, and you have to keep in mind that the actual price of ADA is sitting around $1. So it's about like $1,200 to buy one of these ClayNations at the floor price. Let's see one of the most recent sales. Oh, speaking about robot bodies, this one's listed for sale. ClayNation number 3742 with the blue mohawk, crazy eyes, blue eyebrows, and a cigarette in its mouth, and the robot body. As a matter of fact, look, only 2.52% of ClayNations have a robot body, so that means that's pretty darn rare. Recently sold. Okay, look at recently sold. There was one sold for 2,399 ADA on the 1st of February. These are very popular too. The tracksuits. Only 2.04% of ClayNations have these actual. Yeah, they actually have these tracksuits. That's pretty darn cool, actually. Wow. And then guess what? The green clay. Oh, green clay is one of my favorites, even though it's not the rarest one. The rarest one is the blue clay. And this one was sold for 5,200 ADA. Those are some big numbers. That's impressive right there. Okay. Is there a way to see the 3-day rolling floor on this? On TokenRef, I keep on forgetting sometimes. Sometimes you get better analytics on, CNFT.io or CNFT Analytics. But it's kind of cool how JPEG.store kind of overtook that marketplace of CNFT.io or CNFT marketplace. That was the best place to buy NFTs, but now with smart contracts, everyone's going to JPEG.store. Because if you don't remember, on CNFT marketplace, what would happen is that you would get an offer, or someone would purchase your NFT, and then you manually would have to go into your account and then actually accept it and sell it. There's been so many times where people list their NFTs, someone buys it, and then they end up delisting it. And so the buyer, or in this case, the guy who wanted to buy it, didn't get it, and they were kind of annoyed because they wasted time. Whereas in this case, for the JPJ.store, you're able to automatically list your NFTs. Remember, your CNFTs, list them. Someone can buy it with no problem. You don't have to be there manually, and bada bing, bada boom. kind of like OpenSea. It's very efficient, and plus on top of that, ClayNation has been really pushing forward for this platform because now with the new system, they're able to get royalties. And again, royalties are very important for these NFT projects and startups to raise funds for extra events, to hire more people, such as developers, content creators, so on and so forth. That's extremely, extremely important um, for any NFT project. Okay. And guess what? There's a total of 14.8 million ADA. That was the total volume since ClayNation was born. So that's a lot, and I think it's at number 2 now in terms of total sales and volume in Cardano. So if we quickly go to, let's say, CNFT Marketplace, or no, as a matter of fact, CNFT Analytics. We don't want to go to CNFT Marketplace right now. Or actually, one of the best, instead of going to CNFT Analytics, it's better to go to OpenCNFT.io, which is like the OpenSea for Cardano. That's a great resource as well. It shows the 24-hour volume, 7-day volume, 30-day volume, and all-time volume. So if we go to all-time volume in terms of we're going to see the CNFT ranking. We're going to see that SpaceBuds is at number 1 with 20 million ADA volume that was moved. And Pavia, wow, that has to be recent because Pavia has a total sales volume of 16 million ADA and ClayNation at 15 million. So Pavia has been really increasing, and I think it's literally the Decentraland and sandbox of Cardano. So maybe this may be, of course, ClayNation has created their own Clayverse. It may be interoperable. I think I'm pronouncing the name correctly, where people who are on Pavia can go to the Clayverse and vice versa. So I wouldn't be surprised if ClayNation at some point ends up buying a lot of land on Pavia. Same thing with SpaceBuds. And at number 4, I never heard about this. Actually, I have seen it. Number 4 is Boss Cat Rocket Club at 11 million ADA. And I'm kind of sad to see this, but at number 6 is Yumi Universe, 4.8 million. I thought it was going to be a top 3, top 4, but right now it's at 6th place. So the big 3 at this moment is SpaceBuds number 1, 2 Pavia, and 3 ClayNation by Claymates. Awesome. Let's kind of dive into SpaceBuds for a second because it's been a while since I looked into this. The floor price for these is 5,800 ADA. I feel like this project has been increasing and has been very, very low key. Again, this was I think it was the first blue chip NFT on Cardano, believe it or not. Maybe you can scratch that and say it was actually the NFT trees or the other one. It's not a top 10 project anymore. Oh, it was Unsigned Algorithms. That was one of the first ones, I believe. ClayNation was, and Cardano trees. Yes, those were the ones that were very, very first. And if you remember, I'm looking at Tiger Society. Man, that's at number 17. And I remember that mint. A lot of people were upset because they didn't get their NFTs right away, and the team took a while. There's a lot of technical difficulties. I remember that. I felt bad for the team because they wanted to actually deliver, and people didn't get their NFTs, and the floor prices dropped. And I think maybe people lost their confidence in that. Another popular NFT that I've been seeing lately is Goat Tribe. That's at number 20, though. And Dead Pixels, sorry, at number 7. There's not a lot of blue chip NFTs on Cardano compared to Ethereum, but you have your SpaceBuds, Pavia, and ClayNation. And I'm going to say this. I think once Cardano gets very widely adopted, of course, it's a top 10 cryptocurrency, right? But once it starts to get mainstream in terms of people applying it, because I'm not a Cardano expert, but from what I've seen, there's still a lot of applications like dApps that have not been released. I think for Sunday Swap, it's finally been there's finally an ISO, initial stake offering for Cardano, so you can stake your Cardano to get Sunday Swap tokens. but there's a lot of dApps that are not released. Whereas for Ethereum, there are a bunch, and it's live, it's functional. But for Cardano, it hasn't been there yet, and they're taking their time. They're making sure everything's right. But I think once Cardano eventually maybe even flips Ethereum at some point, there's going to be a massive migration, maybe from Ethereum to Cardano, and with that massive migration, the NFT marketplace can grow into the Ethereum realm and maybe even surpass them, right? Or there's already a bunch of Cardano users, and once NFTs on Cardano become a lot more popular, then we can see a surge in NFT sales and popularity as well, right? So that's really cool. That's one thing to really think about. Again, Cardano is a top 10 cryptocurrency. Going to the JPEG store, we do see that there's a total of 3,781 total owners out of 10,000 items. So, and there's one, I forgot the name of the whale. It's on Twitter. I think it's called Drams. This guy owns like over 100 Cardano ClayNations, and it's just incredible because he's like one of the goats, a very, very early adopter in TNFTs and ClayNation, so he's really an OG. But it's cool to see how the floor is still kind of rigid. It's still staying at the $1,000 mark somewhat. That was a couple of weeks ago, but right now it's at what, $1,295, because 1 ADA is almost equivalent to $1. So yeah, things are looking promising in terms of the Clayverse. Really looking forward to that. Besides that, there's not a whole bunch of news. Besides the fact, let's go to Discord real quickly. Besides the fact that there has been a winner announced for the guitar that was for the ClayNation and Good Charlotte collaboration. The person who got the guitar, got the NFT and the physical guitar signed by the ClayNation team and the band itself. So that is some sort of gift, an awesome gift. And one more thing before we head out here is, of course, a lot of people, the majority of people who have Cardano, who have ADA, are staking it. I think it's like over 70% of ADA holders are staking it. And when you think about one staking pool compared to another, there's no real, incentive for being on another one unless one is literally filled to capacity. And once they fill to capacity, you're kind of forced to move somewhere else because you're going to end up losing money by not staking it, because that's the way the protocol kind of works on Cardano. But anyways, for ClayNation, the incentive, the added benefit for being on their stake pool is that you get to get extra prizes. You get a better opportunity to go and win some prizes. So for example, this is on Discord. They posted this on the 30th of January. So they're saying this. They're saying that they're giving away 10,000 ADA worth of NFTs and tokens to Clay delegators in March. They're going to give away what? Did I say Milk, Sunday, Pavia, WMT, I don't know what that is, and more. So just stake, Clay, and chill for your chance to receive some of the prize pool. So that's really cool. That's an added benefit. Because number one, you're staking your ADA. Number two, you're supporting the ClayNation project. And three, you're getting the chance to win 10,000 ADA worth of NFTs. So that's really cool. I would recommend, if you're a ClayNation fan, holder, and Cardano holder, I think this would be a really good idea. So I'm about to do this as well. Got to participate in this. Anyways, that pretty much concludes the end of the episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And stay on top of Discord, honestly. Stay on top of Discord to get all information, Twitter, and they do have an Instagram, but it's just mainly Discord and Twitter, and at some point, the Clayverse. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good one.